outfit you see here today.
Now, wait a minute. This is a family program.
Well, it'll be all right.
Fred, if statistics mean anything, this should be a high-scoring football game.
Yeah, Gary, they have two great quarterbacks today. Kramer and Fouts are very much alike in their philosophies. And I think you're going to see a lot of balls in the air, perhaps maybe over 100 today. But the key to today's game is going to be what team pass rushes and pass blocks the best.
And the Chargers come in here. They're really nicked and bruised.
They have a lot of injuries, and especially the backfield. They carry 5 backs on their roster. Only one of them, John Capoletti, is healthy. John has got a problem with his groin over the last couple of years, but today he's completely healthy. He's coming off a real good game against Seattle last week. He can run and catch. Let's go.
John Capoletti, as you mentioned, a good game last week, 85 yards in that win over the Seattle Seahawks. This is the first meeting since '78 between these two clubs. The first time they've met here, however, since 1971. And the Chargers, 4-1, tied for first place with Denver in the AFC West. And the Vikings tied with Tampa Bay in the NFC Central Division. The San Diego Chargers have won the toss. They have elected to receive. The temperature at kickoff time, 71 degrees. It's just ideal football weather. The wind out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. And Wes Chandler, the recent addition to the San Diego football team, will go back for this kickoff.
Gary, I'll tell you, when they introduced the teams, the entire Charger team came out to about the 30-yard line. Wes Chandler was the first one introduced, and he's jacked up, ready to go.
And Chandler, who was picked up last week in that trade with New Orleans, only had 2 days of practice before playing last week, but he's more acclimated now to what they're trying to do offensively. And Rick Danmeyer, who has 9 of 10 this year in the field goal kicking department, will start this game off. The Minnesota Vikings, who have won 3 in a row in the Central Division. Impressive wins. Now stepping outside of their division against an AFC team that's been tough on the NFC.
There's Wes. He's healthy. He's taking a little time to blend into the offense, but I think he's raring to go.
Minnesota, one of 5 teams in the NFC to have a winning mark against the AFC. They're 19-17 in their history. Dan Meyer's ready to go, and the 6th week is underway in the NFL. Chandler from the 4. And Chandler has a gaping hole across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Coming up to make the stop in a hurry was Randy Holloway, a 30-yard return. And you could see for a moment that had the earmarks of being a big return for Wes Chandler.
He did a great job coming up the field, setting up his...
As they have Eric Seaver starting also. Far side as they start out in a hurry. Across the 40 to the 42. Coming up with that catch was Wes Chandler. And Chandler, who had 22 catches prior to today, has already been worked into their offense in a hurry.
They didn't waste any time. Don knows a great athlete when he sees him, and he really wants to put him into the offense.
Capoletti. Now, we announced Muncie as the starter. That's the way they did it today. But Muncie did not start this game. Instead, Eric Sievers, a rookie, number 85, is in there, along with Kellen Winslow and Wes Chandler. This is Winslow in motion. And Fouts, a 300-yard game. Broken up. Doug Martin was there. Also, Duck White. Good pressure put on, and they're going to have a lot of that today.
They're going to have to, especially up the middle pressure. Fouts does not like to drop back very deep, so the defensive ends are going to have a tough time all day getting to him.
3rd down, less than 5. There defensively is that forward wall. They have not had a lot of sacks. Matt Blair, watch him, quick and active from that linebacker spot. The secondary will be tested, as you might suspect, before this day is over, by this man, Dan Fouts. Chuck Muncie now is in the backfield this time, playing with the Cats on the left hand. This is Muncie. Muncie is close to the 1st down. He may have it. He's out to the 44.
That was a nickel situation, a 3rd and about 4 or 5. And Minnesota comes in with the Holloway at right end, so they have 4 down linemen, and they kind of fooled them a little bit, Gary, and ran the ball.
They're going to have to measure to see if they got the 1st down. Fred, you have said many times that the rules of the game have really changed how that forward defensive wall has to play.
Yeah, it's really a game now of a physical size, whereas it used to be a guy could be a little bit lighter and be quick and fast. But the way the pass blocking rules have been liberated, offenses now are really invited to throw the ball more.
They're picking on you defensive guys, huh?
Oh, they always have.
You could see they were just short of the first down. George Roberts will be kicking. Roberts is the man they picked up from Miami for a draft choice, and he has been kicking very well, an average of 40.9. And going back deep, a very dangerous man in Eddie Payton. Eddie Payton coming into this game, as far as the NFC is concerned, he's 8th in punt returns, but 2nd in the NFC in kickoff returns.
You know, he's in this situation here as a punt returner. He does not like the fair catch. He wants the ball and he wants to run with it.
In fact, last week he did fair catch one, and he was berating himself all week. Roberts, a left footer, hits it very well, going for the side. However, he's not going to get where he wanted to be. That ball is going to be outside the 25. They're going to mark it at the 27-yard line. And so Minnesota has stopped the first offensive threat of the San Diego team, and the Vikings will set it up as we're just underway in the quarter. Back in the NFL that's ranked in the top 10, both rushing and receiving. Brown and Young, a former San Diego Charger, making his 90th straight start. A gift to Ted Brown. Brown has running room. And Brown is about a yard short of the first down at the 36. Pete Shaw with the tackle.
I think you're going to see much more of that than you think. Although this is going to be two great passers, you're going to see Minnesota doing their share of running today.
Minnesota has the last two games, Fred, averaged over 145 yards. I am so impressed with Kelcher and Johnson.
You know, right before the first play started, you hear a lot of boos, what appeared to be boos in the background, but they're chanting Louis, Louis, Louis. They love Louis here in San Diego.
Pete Shaw starting his second consecutive game. He has replaced Frank Duckin at the strong safety spot. Second down, a yard. And it looks like the Vikings are able to pick it up very, very close. It's not an easy yard against guys like Kelcher, who weighs 282 pounds, Johnson at 255.
I think they're two of the best defensive tackles in all of football.
We watched Kelcher on film, and he just absolutely was throwing the offensive line around.
Yeah, he's very, very strong. And the one thing you might want to watch for Louis is he keeps his shoulders very parallel to the line of scrimmage. So if he gets in trouble, he can come off better.
And is he big?
Oh, he's manly. 285.
First down for Minnesota. So they're getting a little confidence now in their running game. Sammy White goes in motion. Kramer, his first pass, scrambling around, which he does as well. And Kelcher bats it down. Kelcher could not locate the football, or he might have had a chance at the interception.
Louis had turned around just a second sooner. He might have had 6 points. There he is. See Louis right here getting by his man, getting up the field, getting rid of the guy, puts his hands up, and there it is right there.
Getting rid of him is being kind of putting it mildly. He just destroyed that guy.
Yeah, he and Wes Hamilton are going to have a punch-out all day.
Hamilton may be wanting to get back to the state of Minnesota after a play like that. Second down, 10 now. Rashad and White are split to the bottom of the screen. Tommy Kramer, who's just been magnificent for this team, rolling out, a lot of pressure, intended for Brown. He is hit by Lyndon King, trying to set up the screen, and it just didn't develop very well, and Brown is not getting up very quickly. He took a pretty good shot that time from King.
Yeah, Lyndon, they really like Lyndon. They think that he's going to be one of the best linebackers in the league. He started out as a tight end and then a safety. You see right here, Gary Johnson getting up the field again. It's a screen, so they let him through, and Lyndon King really comes underneath the block.
You believe they drafted him as a strong safety? He's 6'4". Now he's way up there in weight, 237 pounds. He's about 210 coming out of college. Third down still, 10 yards to go. Woodcock almost fires offside. Kramer with time, Sensor, he can't hang on. They would have had the first down if he would have caught that.
Yeah, the ball was thrown just a little bit low, a little bit short. I think Kramer might have been surprised he was that open.
Kramer, in a visit with him, really believes, now I'm sure a lot of guys say this, but he really believes they can win this game today.
Yeah, I think he believes he can win any game that he's in.
Look at that. The Eagles are now 6-0.
You're awesome, I'll tell you.
Boy, that's going to be some meeting November 1st when they meet the Dallas Cowboys.
This might be interesting here. We've got Wes Chandler sitting back on about his 19-yard line to receive a punt. Let's see what they do. I don't know if they're going to kick to him. They may or they may not.
Wes Chandler, coming over from New Orleans last week, played in the backfield. He was playing a wide receiver spot, returning the punts. They'd like to have James Brooks back there, but their #1 draft pick has a hamstring injury, and they don't want to play him today if they can keep from it.
Yeah, Don said this week that he doesn't really want to have to push Jim. at all to play. He's going to let him mend naturally, and then when he's ready to play, he'll be ready to go.
Greg Coleman to kick. Coleman coming into this game is 5th in the NFC with a 42.6 average. Inside the 20 is Chandler. No score in this game. And Coleman hits a beauty. Oh, did he get into it? Chandler at the 9. Tremendous kick by Coleman. And Chandler getting some distance out of it. Does an excellent job of bringing the football out to the 27-yard line. Coleman, who kicked the ball, made the tackle. Tremendous balance that time by Wes Chandler as they avoided some very bad field position after that 52-yard kick. Teams have never played very well in California.
It's interesting, too. You know, he was really somewhat interested in the fact that so many of his players had relatives out in California. As a matter of fact, his mother lives in North Hollywood.
Girlfriends, everyone else. Too many distractions as far as he's concerned. They're going to give Greg Coleman a distance of 56 yards on that kick. Here's John Capoletti on a first down. A 50. West Filmo. He had a couple of moves you hadn't seen for a while.
He was doing very well in the film.
Second down and 9. Fouts with time. Winslow can't get up high enough, but you could see he was giving it every shot.
It's a tough, long game, and it's tough. Takes a lot of energy out of you rushing the passer, but it's going to be one of those days.
You see that? Tampa Bay, who's tied with Minnesota for first, is leading Green Bay. Fouts on third down, wide open. Charlie Joyner, and that'll be a first down to the 42. Tom Hannon. That could not have been any more wide open than it was.
I think if someone dropped, you see here, Fouts getting enough time. He's not going to drop back very deep. He gets a lot of pressure, but right over the middle there is Charlie Joyner. I don't think he should have been that open.
I know that Coach Bud Grant doesn't. That was a 16-yard pickup to the 43-yard line. The Chargers now starting to get the wheels all rolling. Intended for Joyner and to throw a lot of passes.
Here's Joyner coming off. He's just running down, reading to see where he can go. And he cuts inside, and Fouts reads, and they do a great job of that here in San Diego. The receivers and the quarterbacks are very, very well in tune.
Break.
Yeah, and Fouts seems to be breaking his own records every week.
21 300-yard games. Only Unitas and Jurgensen are ahead of him. In motion, Joyner on a second down 10. Wide open, Winslow. He tried to run before he had it that time. They say that Winslow has revolutionized what you expect in tight ends in the future.
What's interesting, play inside block or receive, run any type of pattern outside.
Chuck Muncie now has come in. 3 wideouts on a third down 10 for San Diego. Fouts. Little pressure put on that time by McNeil. He gets it up, but that will not be enough for the first down. Knopf with a good from Brett Neal.
The time. See now, right here, Winslow comes up. You see the two receivers at the top of your screen. They're just running up the field to clear out and waiting for Kellen to break underneath. It takes time for Seaman to get to him. And when he does, a little bit too late.
Kurt Knopf made a pretty good tackle, or they would have had the first down because he had some running room. The ball at the 49. The kick will be Roberts. Last time he booted 130 yards. There he is. Roberts played at Virginia Tech. He'll be kicking to Eddie Payton. 10-17 to go in this first quarter. Payton at the 6. And Payton struggles out to the 18-yard line. Minnesota will have it there. Frank Duncan made the stop. Roberts that time with a much better punt. That distance will be 45 yards. Timeout, no score. In college coach Don Coryell.
You'll notice this sideline demeanor is much different than Bud's.
He is intense. From the 18-yard line, Brown, he got a yard and hammered in a hurry, leading the throw low. Down now, 3 carries for 12 yards. Second down and 9. It'll be tough to run against this San Diego team. Kramer. Brown makes a nice move to the 25, and that'll get him a first down. A good
again here. Kramer's looking that way right from the get-go. He looks and sees and knows he dumps the ball off to Brown over here. They just want to get the ball out into a flat to a great athlete and hope something like that happens. The guy misses the tackler, falls down. Heck, they got 9 yards. They'll settle for that.
On the get-go?
On the get-go.
A first down. Again, the Vikings getting a little field position. 9:20 to go in this first quarter. No score. Gary Bender, Fred Dreyer for San Diego. Kramer, Sensor, wide open. First down at the 40. Peel loads it.
Him between Kellen Winslow is maybe some speed. Otherwise, the bulk is there. There's Kramer getting good protection. That's going to be the key for him all day. You see Sensor wide open. Somebody may have missed a little coverage there, too. Here's Woodcock going against Steve Riley. See the technique that he's using? He pushes him down. You can do that now. That's a good play by Riley.
That's one of those new rules they legislated against you. First down, Kramer. Again, protection is there. Going to Sammy White, but overthrown. Double coverage that time on
middle. He's going to be safe most of the day then.
Hurt the knee in the preseason, but he broke his little toe last week.
Bud told him not to worry about it. Anthropologists tell him that they're going to lose your toes in about 10 years anyway.
Oh, what a strike to Sensor, and that'll be another first down, and Kramer is just kind of picking what they give him. Anderson made the stop. First down, that's the 4th of the afternoon for Minnesota.
You know, I think they do a great job, Minnesota. Both teams do, but in this case, San Diego, they're just running out and looking to the open areas, and they're getting the ball. He's doing a great job of getting them the open man.
And another thing you have to take in consideration, they're keeping that ball away from Dan Fouts, a very fine drive.
You better believe it.
Inside the 40, first down. Rashad split to the bottom. Sammy White at the top. Brown and Ricky Young, the running backs. Here is Brown, and Brown to the 37. Ted Brown last week had 97 yards. As Brown was able to pick up in that particular game 113 yards against Chicago. You don't hear a lot about him, Freddie.
No, you don't. And it's too bad, too, because he's not only a tough runner, but he's a great receiver coming out of the backfield. And if you can't catch for Bud, he doesn't want that.
On a second down and 8. Kramer stepping up again. Gets it off to Brown. Brown breaks the tackle. 30, 25, and Brown to the 21. And that's twice now that Brown has been hemmed in on the flat only to break a tackle and pick up big yards.
Yeah, they'll take those yards. Anytime you can get you a ball to one of your best receivers. There's Gary Johnson running a stunt. Look at Woodcock. Look what happens to Woodcock here.
18-yard advance.
Tommy might have held the ball a little bit too long, but he's waiting to get the ball over here to Ted. And he does a great job after he gets the ball.
Ted Brown off to a big day. Kramer, 4 of 8 now for 60 yards. First down just short of the 20-yard line. Rashad and White split out. Quick pitch to Brown. He stumbles. He had a block from Ron Yeri, but he lost his footing, and he lost a yard on the play. The veteran Ron Yeri, and Brown, I think, a little disappointed. Ted last week hurt his thumb, had to come out of the game, but evidently not bothering him all that much today.
No, I don't think that anything could keep him out of this type of a game. Both teams know the ball is going to be up, and everybody wants in on a little piece of the pie. Teddy's going to get a lot of balls thrown into that.
That was what we were mentioning earlier. The only player in the top 10, Bud Grant in his 14th year. We sat poolside with him, a very congenial chat with him.
Yeah, he was very hospitable to us yesterday.
Second down and 12. Kramer. The Sensor. It's intercepted. Picked off Willie Buchanan. Buchanan hit hard at the 25, and he'll get to the 30. Willie Buchanan with his 3rd interception of the year. Had he gotten up quicker, he would play.
But he felt. There's Willie. Kramer really was rushed here by Woodcock. Had to step up and throw in a hurry. It gave Willie just a little bit more of an opportunity to read the quarterback, and did a great job of intercepting the ball.
Willie Buchanan with the interception, stopping that drive. When we come back, the Chargers will have it at their own 30-yard line. And with the interception, an 11-yard return to the 30. Fouts on first down, and his receiver falls down. That receiver being Wes Chandler, and that'll bring up a second down and 10. You know, I'm looking at the film's last
the second half underneath, and that's when they start breaking the game open.
In fact, I think their longest pass was 15 yards. He's now 3 of 9 today for 28 yards. Second down 10. Chuck Muncie. Muncie breaks the initial line of scrimmage, then is hit hard. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. Line over there, the linebacker Studwell, along with Matt Blair and Mark Mullaney. Matt Blair has just been an outstanding performer. Pittsburgh, now that really puts Cleveland in a hole. They're now 2-4. The Steelers go to 4-2 in that tough AFC Central.
Well, that hurts Cleveland a lot. Now they're really in a hole now, chasing Pittsburgh.
3rd down. Let's make it 7 yards to go. Two running backs this time. Play action. Fouts overthrown and almost intercepted. Fouts get top break. And that's a change, as Peyton has been back there every time.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder why they did that.
I don't know if Peyton was hurt or not. Roberts is going to kick away from him. And White is going to take it out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So Minnesota will have it at the 26 with 4 minutes, 54 seconds to go in this first quarter, as Roberts, the left footer, kicking to the left away from Sammy White. We'll be back in just a moment.
Look out, world. Look out. And here comes.
I was waiting for a flag to come out of there. That is roughing the kicker right there. That should be a penalty.
Only thing we can't see is whether he was blocked into him from that particular position. But I'm like you. I kind of thought maybe they'd have a flag. We understand that Eddie Payton has ice on his knee on the far sideline. That's the reason Sammy White fielded that last punt. At the 26-yard line, Minnesota, Ted Brown. Brown some running room. Out to the 30, 31-yard line, a gain of 5. Lyndon King over to make the stop. Now, if you look statistically at the San Diego team defensively, they are third against the rush. You figure you wouldn't run against them that much, but thus far they've had some success.
Well, perhaps San Diego's thinking that as soon as they do a good job of throwing, that's what they're going to be doing. But you have to learn to play both. You can't win without stopping the run first.
Freddie, we've just been told that Payton will not return to this game.
Yeah, that's going to hurt them, I think. I don't think they want to put Sammy White back there receiving punts.
Eddie Payton out with the knee injury. On the 31, second down and 5. Woodcock putting pressure on, and a pass interference against Buchanan. Willie Buchanan over the top of Ahmad Rashad. That'll be a first down out across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he was Willie was a little eager there to get to him. He thought he could come over the back without touching him, but unfortunately he did. That's just a gamble he had to take.
I would think, now correct me if I'm wrong, Fred, but I would think the longer Minnesota plays effectively here.
Pass interference. Defense.
The more confidence they're going to get.
I think so. Woodcock coming in from the right makes a good move on Riley, enough to pressure Kramer, who throws a little bit. Well, he's right on the money, isn't he? And then Willie comes over the top of him. That's just a defensive play that he has to decide what he wants to do.
Minnesota thus far gaining some confidence. They've been able to throw the ball. They've been able to run the ball. They've had the ball most of the time in this first quarter.
Yeah.
4:10 remaining in it. First down after the pass interference. Play action. Look out. Woodcock. Big hands Johnson. Gary Johnson, the 20, 15, 10. Johnson inside the 5. He's dropped at the 3. That is a great
An end zone shot. You see, if Kramer's got some time here, he throws over the rushing. Right here, Johnson gets the ball, turns and goes to the end zone. He's very north-south oriented. Makes a great move. Look how nimble he is.
You know, he scored a touchdown on a lateral from Jones earlier this year in that Kansas City game. Here's John Capoletti. Oh, is he hit? He may have lost a yard on that play. He was drilled backwards in a hurry. They almost got his third.
I was pulling for him, I'll tell you that.
Did you ever pick one off and go in?
Yeah, 1975, Roman Gabriel threw me a pass that stuck right in the end of my face mask. I didn't know where I was.
You're kidding.
No, I ran in for a touchdown.
Did you leave it in the face mask?
Yeah, I left it in the face mask. I spiked my helmet.
Second and goal now at the 2. Chuck Muncie. And Muncie is in. Touchdown. So the Chargers with their second interception, this time able to capitalize on it. And they have a 6-0 lead at the 3:11 mark of the first quarter.
Chuck Muncie, cast and all.
Chuck Muncie had 161 yards in the first game this year.
Those people up front, see how they occupy him? Russ Washington and Kellen Winslow did a great job of turning their men in, which allowed Muncie to come around and score.
Chuck Muncie in the best shape of his life. About 218 pounds after last year playing at about 233. Bernurska to attempt the point after, and he has it. And San Diego with a 7-0 lead after a 30. Atlanta now has lost 3 in a row, and that makes a big game out of that St. Louis-Atlanta game.
Yeah, I never thought that Atlanta would lose 3 in a row.
Now, Marty McDowell is going to be the deep man for Minnesota due to the injury to Eddie Payton. Benerska will kick off. Ralph Benerska, what a favorite he is here in the San Diego area. 7-0, the Chargers. It's going to be instead Keith Nord. Nord out to the 15, 20, and he's out across the 30, 35, still spinning his way. There's a flag on the play as he advances it to the 40-yard line. Nord earlier this year fumbled a kickoff, but this time did an excellent job. But let's see what the penalty is all about. Dennis Swilly over there checking with Chuck Heberlein and his crew. The Vikings are backing up, anticipating the penalty against them.
I think we got 2 penalties. I think San Diego's going to be called for offsides on the kickoff, and I think he got a clipping or holding penalty on Minnesota back here.
That one is inside the 30-yard line. Yes, you're right. There is a flag way back at the other side, and that would be an offside, you would anticipate. So we may do this all over, huh?
Yeah.
Offside on the kicking team. Illegal block below the waist on the receiving team. They will negate each other. Replay.
What does a coach say, a special teams coach say, when you get offside on a kickoff? That doesn't set very well, does it?
Well, the coach realizes that it's important on the kickoff to get downfield and break down and get ready to get hit, because that's what's going to happen to you. So the guys are just a little over anxious to get down there, that's all. They just got to watch it.
Those special team guys, they're something. They're a breed apart.
You know, I tell you,
San Francisco leading Dallas 14-0. Boy, what a shock that is. We mentioned L.A. won, and the Jets defeated New England.
they're hot. I like the way the Jets have been playing the last couple of weeks.
We're in real trouble there for a while. Benerska to kick off again. Going to be short. It's going to be Keith Nord again from the 15. 25, 30, and just about where they had it the last time, the 35-yard line area. Vikings, who have suffered 2 interceptions. Now Kramer with 5 for the entire season. This time from the 34, they'll set it up. There is Dan Fouts. His daddy was quite a play-by-play announcer in the San Francisco area.
You know, Danny has a great temperament for a quarterback. He is undisputed leader of that huddle, believe me.
And he's got some statistics to back up that he's a leader. What a performance he has put in the last 4 years. Ricky Young, Ted Brown, the running backs behind Kramer. On first down, Kramer with time. Ricky Young, and Young to the 40. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. You know, you always say, or you hear a coach say, that you have to wait 4 or 5 years to know how effective a trade is. Oh, Ricky Young and Ed White, they're exchanged for each other. That kind of neutralize each other?
Well, I like to see 2 teams enter into a trade and both get something out of it. It's great for the players, it's great for the organization, and both players have really contributed well to their teams.
Ed White came over yesterday visiting with you, and his usual very trim figure. Maybe a couple of pounds overweight. Here's Ted Brown on a 2nd and 5. He'll be 3 yards short of the first down. Leroy Jones making the stop. I'm sure many people are aware that the Chargers do not have Fred Dean anymore. He's now in San Francisco. Woodcock trying to fill some big shoes.
Yeah, John is primarily a defensive tackle. He came in from Detroit. As a matter of fact, he was teaching school when they called him up. But he's doing a real good job adapting out there. He and Leroy Jones, I think, are going to be a real determining factor in today's game.
Well, he's making a little more money playing football than he was teaching. Said he got tired of eating hamburger helper.
I can understand that.
3rd down, 2. Kramer, censor, and that'll be a first down. What a catch. This big tight end is playing very well. Woodrow Lowe rams him out, but it's a first down for the Minnesota Vikings.
There's just a little drop back pass. Riley doing a good job on Woodcock all day today so far. A nice pass and a great catch. Gets both feet in bounds, at least 1 foot in bounds.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, 1 or 2. I don't think he has 3 legs, does he?
Sensor already with 3 touchdown catches. This is is that a shocker?
Are you kidding?
San Francisco. That Dallas may lose 2 in a row after being beaten by St. Louis last week. Kramer on first down, wide open White. He can't stay in bounds, but he has a first down catch at the 30, and Kramer really had something on that pass.
Boy, I tell you something, I think he's just getting warmed up. He kind of like a little half sprint out there and knows right where he's going from the time he gets the ball. Right over to one of his best receivers here. And he makes the nice, but Sammy's running down the field and read how deep Buchanan was playing, just cut it short and headed for the sideline.
Well, they got to cover a little closer than that.
Well, I think they're going to have to. You might see that play again down here.
23-yard gain on the play to the 30. And Kramer, who's moved this team but still isn't on the scoreboard, has a first down with 1:23 to go in the first quarter. Ricky Young in motion, Ted Brown. He sidestepped one man, but he's going to lose yardage. Just didn't develop at all. Leroy Jones messed it up.
See, that's a big play. What we were talking about earlier, those two defensive ends, Woodcock and Jones, can really be a force here because Minnesota does like to get outside. That's a good play by Leroy. They'll need some more of that.
Well, a former teammate of yours, he was a second-round draft pick in Los Angeles.
Yeah, at the time he was with us in L.A., that there's just no room for him.
Out of Norfolk State in his 6th year. Been the starter the last 5 years for San Diego. Ferguson has replaced him as Jones comes out. Second down now, 13 to go. That's Joe Sensor in motion. Kramer with time. And Sensor has a first down inside the 15 to the 14. I would say their game plan was to find their big tight end.
Yeah, I think that with all the great receivers they have with Rashad on the outside, Louis does a good job of high-stepping over Hamilton. Just a little bit shy of getting a sack. They like Sensor. Boy, you know, Sensor has caught more touchdowns than any other tight end the Vikings have ever had.
And he is just starting to come on his own. This is only his 2nd year in the league. First down inside the 15-yard line. Kramer on a delay to Brown, and Brown gets nothing on that play, and he's roughed up a little bit. John Woodcock, the first to get there. You run inside, you better work.
He's hit out of Ohio State that they really like. He's got a lot of ability, and we might see him later on today.
He's a 5th-round draft pick. That's the end of the first quarter. Food.
About what they've done so far because it's still an early game.
Ball just inside the 15-yard line. Second down 10 for the Vikings. Brown and Young in the backfield. Sammy White, he almost had it. He tried to throw it over Wyatt Henderson defending on the play, and White almost was able to hang on to that for 6 points.
We'll see it from the end zone. Kramer knows right where he's going right away. He's going to get the ball a little fade into the corner to Sammy White, just hoping that he can get the ball. Almost had it right there. He's a great athlete.
Boy, that would have been a remarkable catch by Sammy White, who's still looking for his first touchdown catch of the year. Third down, 10, from just about on top of the 15-yard line. White and Rashad split out. Kramer a little half roll. Wide open Ricky Young. Young one-on-one. 10-5. What a run. Touchdown. Oh! Remarkable play by Ricky Young.
That was all Ricky Young. What a beautiful run. Now you see what Bud Grant saw in Ricky Young when he made that trade for Ed White a couple years ago. What a beautiful run. Here it is again. You see Kramer, he was going over to his left and then saw Ricky Young over here. He just got the ball out to him. He breaks down, makes a great move right there inside, right by Wyatt Henderson, and makes a great effort right here. What a great back.
Boy, it looked like he'd be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play.
It was all Ricky Young on that play.
15-yard pass completion for the touchdown. Rick Danmeyer, the point after, Keith Nord holding. And he has tied this game up. 7-7. The Vikings, who are looking to win their 4th in a row, coming back after the interception to tie up this game at 14-47.
Nowadays,
By field goal, Montana has 1 touchdown pass. The other 2 have been running. Danmeyer kicking off. 14:47 to go in the second quarter. Going to be short. Wes Chandler at the 11. And he's hit and dropped by Randy Holloway. Holloway down and made the tackle. And the ball will be marked at the 23-yard line. There's that last drive, culminating in that 15-yard play. Beautiful effort by Ricky.
Here's that last play, a touchdown by Ricky Young. Fake to Ricky Young. He goes over here in the flat just to get out of everybody's way. And then he takes the checkoff back from here behind the line of scrimmage. Puts a great move here. This was all Ricky Young. That's why they traded for him.
He took a big shot from Big Hands Johnson and still stayed on his feet. Fouts moving around. He was trying to hit on the far side Chuck Muncie, but nothing developed on that play. And again, some pretty good pressure by Minnesota.
Yeah, you know, Fouts was moving around there. He's not going to try to run. He was just trying to get a little bit more room and a little bit more time to get the ball downfield to Chuck.
And Fouts, again, he started slow last week, then started getting it all together. He's 3 of 10 now. Second down and 10. Minnesota playing with some, I'm sure, renewed confidence after having the 2 interceptions, coming back and tying it up. In motion at the bottom of the screen is Charlie Joyner. Fouts, good protection, now running around again. Going deep. Dwight Scales is down there with Williams. Oh! Almost caught it at the 15-yard line. Dwight Scales. Both of them waiting on it. It must have seemed like an eternity to both men.
I lost it for a second. I thought it was a blimp. Here's Duck White being passed off by Rush here. The one thing you want to do on a quarterback like that is get up the field with your inside pressure. He scoots out to his right and just throws the ball up, hoping that Dwight can jump up and get it. Almost had it right there.
You know, that pass was thrown 65 yards. A 65-yard effort.
Oh, that would have been a terrific play if he'd held on to that.
Third down. Chuck Muncie, the only running back behind Dan Fouts. 3rd and 10. Fouts again stepping up. And Joyner can't hang on. John Turner hitting. And I am very impressed the way Minnesota is playing defense right now.
I'll tell you, that last scoring drive that they had, when they capitalized it and put it in the end zone, they know they can move the ball and score on San Diego.
John Turner coming back from the broken leg. He's been used primarily in the nickel defense, and Dan Fouts will go off and wait for another opportunity.
You know, they believe John Turner, regardless of his broken leg or anything, they think he's their best cornerback.
To kick the ball will be Roberts. There's his average. And Sammy White will go back for Minnesota. In that first quarter, Minnesota had the ball 9.5 minutes to San Diego's 5.5. Roberts, a beautiful kick. White going to let it hit, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
You know, Gary, a possession of time is not really that important with these two teams because they do such a great job when they have the football.
Minnesota has the ball at the 29-yard line. It's all even, 7 up. In motion, Terry LeCount. Ted Brown, he's the only man to carry the ball for Minnesota. Got a block from Ricky Young and a first down run because of it. Ricky Young, who made a remarkable catch for a touchdown, just threw a fine block.
Well, I tell you, who else threw a great block is Marty McDowell, 88. Well, he came in and he really leveled the linebacker there. You don't get to see it, but off to your left, you see a purple guy. There he is. See that guy right there? Good job of walling the guy off on the inside, and Ricky Young does a good job of getting Buchanan out of the way, and Teddy Brown just takes it from there on his athletic ability.
By the way, a final now as Tampa Bay has defeated Green Bay 21-10, so the Vikings will have to win today to stay tied for first place in the NFC Central. Kramer, Spencer, did he catch it? He caught the football. What a catch that time by Spencer.
What a catch!
I got to see this one again.
Me too. Kramer fakes to his right and then sees Joe over the center. Right out of the way of who was the diving guy right down here? I didn't get to see him, but what a catch by Joe Spencer. That's why they like him.
Well, he was quite a basketball player, Fred. He had the ability, good hands. He showed it there. He comes up now with his 5th catch for 67 yards.
I'd feed the guy the rest of the game.
He's been the man they've been going to at the 44-yard line. First down.
That's how we get started.
7-7 our score as we've just started the second quarter. Brown straight ahead, and Brown can't fumble the football. I believe it's been blown dead, however. Still to be Minnesota's football, just short of the 35. The crowd here not agreeing, obviously, with that. This partisan Charger crowd thought they had the football. He picked up 8 yards on the play. 2nd and 2. I'm sure you've been to a few of those where you wouldn't agree with it either.
I've been right every time.
Except the right people didn't think you were right.
Here's an important score right here. If you're a Viking and you're sitting down looking at the scoreboard right now, that's incentive enough to play well.
Boy, Doug Williams had a big day. 167 yards passing in that game. Playing well for Tampa Bay. Clammy White in motion. Here is Brown. Brown first down. Inside the 30 to the 29. Boy, Tampa Bay's got to play Oakland next week.
You know, Kramer, he may be fooling some people here because he came into the game expecting to throw the ball, but he's doing an excellent job of mixing up his runners as well as his passing play.
He's got to have San Diego right now kind of sitting on their heels a little bit.
Yeah, the game is even as far as the scoreboard goes, and the time of possession is surely in favor of Minnesota. But they're inside the 30-yard line now. They're just as dangerous here, if not more so, than they are in the middle of the field.
Rashad and White at the bottom of the screen, split out. Kramer on first down. And out of bounds goes Rashad. He's belted pretty hard. He nonchalantly took that pass and was very rudely hit at the 20-yard line.
You know, one thing... Looking that way, looking right for Rashad. As soon as he got the ball, he saw Rashad step out of bounds. Right here, you see he takes a nice little shot. Ahmad has learned to do one thing, and that is brace himself and take better care of his body and after he receives the football.
Fred, that breaks the Minnesota Viking receiving record with that catch. He moved ahead of Chuck Foreman, and also his 67th straight game to catch at least one pass.
Well, I'll tell you what, he'll keep breaking his records every time he catches the ball because I think he's one of the best receivers in football.
On a 2nd and 1, Brown gets the first down. And Minnesota just relentlessly moving the football. First down of the 17 of San Diego. Rashad with that catch is 18th. Looking next Sunday, St. Louis, Atlanta. Fred and I will be there for that game. This is going to be an unbelievable year. 10 more weeks to go.
I think the team that goes to the Super Bowl has 7 or 8 losses.
Well, you know, Don Coryell said he thought the team in this division could win it with a 10-6 record.
He may be right.
First down from the 17. Brown has a block from Jim Huff. Has the corner, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Brown running effectively against the third-ranked rushing defense in the AFC.
You know, Gary, if you can get Teddy Brown the football on running plays and establish a ground game, imagine what you can do by giving him the football down here inside this area and then using a play pass off the same type of running formation and start throwing the football. I think you might see that later on in the game.
Brown coming in here had 626 yards in total offense, second only in the NFL to Tony Dorsett. Art Grant in shirt sleeve weather, which you're not used to seeing him in, has to be enjoying the way his team is playing now. 2nd down, 3. Brown this time nowhere. Ted Brown will be stopped and will bring up a 3rd down and still a yard to go. 3rd down, a yard. Bob Horn, who's playing in place of the injured Cliff Thrift, made the tackle.
Interesting thing about Horn, he's had a hurt back for a while, and he got it pulling his truck. He pulls his truck, hooks up a little harness over his shoulders, and pulls the truck down the street just to give himself a little bit of leg work. But he hurt his back. No, I wish I was, and so does Bob.
Some of you guys are kind of...
The game will do it to you, Gary.
Big play. 3rd down, 1. Everybody in tight. Kramer to Ricky Young, and I don't know. Did he get it far enough up?
Well, I don't think he got it.
We'll have to wait and see. Ricky Young straight ahead. That's the first time he's carried. Ted Brown has carried every other play from the line of scrimmage.
Just a quick little hand up to get the yardage to Ricky Young. It's a lead play. I'll tell you what. Bob Greger came in and put a knot on his lips. He's shaking up.
He really got belted, Ricky Young. They were 3 out of 4 on 3rd down conversions prior to that one. Let's see if they got it. We also have a Charger down on the field.
That may be
They got the first down, Fred.
Yeah.
First and goal. Ricky Young's made two very, very significant plays in this second quarter. The touchdown run and then that first down run.
They're doing a terrific job of mixing their offense up. They're doing a great job.
So the San Diego player, and San Diego's really beat up. Cliff Thrift is out. He had his foot stepped on this week. We talked about Muncie. We talked about also Clarence Williams. This is Bob Greger, 43, the free safety who they're talking to. We'll be back in a moment at the 10-11 mark. A tied-up football game.
This Bud's for the guys who got what it takes to shake, rattle.
0-2 to go in the second quarter. Three wideouts. LeCount, Rashad, and White split out. Ted Brown, the only running back. Kramer to Brown, got a block from Riley, cuts off of that block, and gets inside the 5 to the 4. Woody Lowe over to make the stop. A very fine outside linebacker.
Yeah, Riley did a good job of hooking his man. And as soon as he hooks him, he's to slide off and get the next available guy that shows. And that was Woody Lowe. Woody Lowe did his job out of the end zone.
They gain a yard, and that's about all. It'll be second and goal just inside the 5.
You know, Gary, the Vikings have done a great job in rebuilding that football team. It's been a team of transition. Half of that squad has been turned over in the last 3 years.
They have 10 new faces this year, 10 last year. But the Chargers also had 14 new players. Second and goal from the 5. Kramer, Brown, wide open touchdown. Ted Brown gives the Vikings the lead. And Brown with his second down catch of the season. And again, he's getting up very slowly. Now not getting up, but catching the touchdown pass. Boy, was he open on that play.
Yeah, I think someone dropped the coverage. I think what happened, he pulled a hamstring.
Well, that has been a big problem for both these teams this year, is hamstring injuries.
Yeah, here it is. Right over the middle. Yeah, I think he, well, you can't see it there too well, but he didn't look like it. He didn't look like he twisted anything.
Ted Brown has had trouble with the thumb. He's had a sore shoulder. Now possibly the hamstring or the groin. Walking and looks better. Could have some cramps in this weather, you think?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about cramps. I'll tell you, if they lose him, it's going to hurt him.
At the 9-minute mark, Don Coryell finds his team trailing for the first time, 13-7.
Yeah.
Don recruited you here in San Diego State, and you guys were one of the few passing teams in college at that particular point. You threw the ball, didn't you?
Yeah, Don believed that to get notoriety, he had to score a lot of points, and he did that, and that's been one of his trademarks, is get the ball to his best athlete and score a lot of points, and everybody will love you.
Got to tell our viewers about a meeting you had with Don Coryell. You went to the press conference. We'll do it after this. Nord to hold on Rick Danmeyer's attempt on the point after. And Danmeyer has given him a 14-7 lead. 9 minutes left to be played in this first half. The Minnesota Vikings, who have beaten the Chargers once in 3 previous meetings, with the lead. 5-yard play from Tommy Kramer to Ted Brown. Danmeyer kicking off. 14-7, the Vikings. Wes Chandler. And Chandler hit very hard. Willie Teal, one of those in on the stop. Ball marked at the 26-yard line. Fred, I want to develop that story. You went to the press conference with Don Coryell. He spotted you in the back. And what did he say?
He said, I'm surprised to see you. You got shoes on? I said, sure. So I took my shoe off, held it up there. He said, well, you got socks on? I said, sure, Don, I got socks on. I took my socks off, held it up. He said, well, I'm impressed. And I said, I also have underwear on. He said, well, I don't believe you. Well, I was about to take my pants off, and I thought better of it.
He was glad to see you. Fouts on first down, playing catch-up. Chuck White giving chase. Fouts gets away from him, completes it beautifully that time. And coming up with it was Eric Sievers. That should be a first down. Fouts not known for his nimbleness. That time avoided Duck White.
Yeah, Danny doesn't really want to take off and run. He just seems to sit back there and throw the ball, but he got a good pressure from Duck White.
And that might be a start back for the San Diego team. The Chargers with a first down at the 38-yard line. Boy, they can strike in a hurry. Kellen Winslow, Charlie Joyner at the bottom of the screen. Chandler split out at the top. Joyner goes in motion. Fouts wasting no time. Complete. Charlie Joyner across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Be about 3 yards, maybe 2 yards short of the first down.
Joyner goes in motion right past Wenzel and he cuts up the field. He goes underneath the coverage right here. You see this? He goes right to the open area. That's a visual adjustment. San Diego's not going to be very patient. They want to get back on the board. Don does not like to be behind.
Well, Eric Coryell, what they mean is they believe in the pass. They think they can win by throwing, and they threw over 70% of the time last year. This time they're going to run it. That's surprising. Here comes Muncy. Muncy, a flag on the play, goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A penalty flag was thrown in the defensive secondary. Muncy turned the corner in a hurry, bad cast and all. It's going to be holding against San Diego, so they'll bring that one back. They crossed him up on that play.
Yeah, Randy Holloway liked that. He likes that.
Muncy with the cast. It's a fiberglass cast on the left hand. Their biggest concern about him was catching the pass.
Yeah, I think if he does catch passes today, Gary, he'll be coming out to his right like he did there because that's his lead hand is his right hand without the cast.
Chuck Muncy, Tony Galbraith in this game today, the number 1 and 2 draft picks for New Orleans when Hank Stram was the head man there.
Holding, offense, number 70. Second down.
That'll be Russ Washington, who's come back from a very severe knee.
That's really good to see Russ come back. He hurt his leg last year up in Oakland, really destroyed his knee, but it came back. I like to see that. He's a good player.
Dallas starting to come back. They've scored finally. Muncy will make it to the 39-yard line on a 2nd and 11. Again, that's surprising for San Diego on a 2nd and 11 to run the football.
Well, I think that they were doing a little bit too much passing, and they just wanted to loosen it up a little bit and send Muncy into the line.
The ball will be just short of the 40-yard line. The Chargers have won this division the last 2 years, but they've had to go to the final week of the season both times to do it.
Well, they're an exciting team, I'll tell you. I think it's going to be the same way this time.
Fouts back on a 3rd and 9. Again, with time. Scales is down there. Willie Teal, and Scales catches it. He's in. Oh! Dwight Scales, his first touchdown catch of the year.
Gary, I think Willie Teal is claiming pass interference. I don't think he's going to get it, though. What a great play by Scales. You know, Scales, interesting story. He was cut by the Giants, cut by the Rams, and won a starting position here with the Chargers during training camp. And he's a very fine player. Dan's trying to scramble for room to throw. Throws over Holloway and throws the thing up. I don't even think Dan even knew where the ball was going to go. There's a great play. That's great concentration on the part of Dwight Scales.
You know, that almost happened on the other side a while ago when they threw that long pass.
Right.
This time it connects. 60 yards, a touchdown. Bernerska trying to tie it up with 6:45 to go in the first half, and he has. And again, we're all tied.
You know, it's interesting. They were behind, and the people were starting to get a little bit restless because the Chargers were behind. But it's interesting how quick people catch up. It's really going to be a great game. I think we're going to see a lot more points.
24th straight sellout crowd here in San Diego. Now excited. Their Chargers have tied it up. This kicking off will be Bernerska. Marty McDowell back deep for Minnesota. 60-yarder. A play that could have gone either way. As Fouts put it up for grabs, and it ended up a 6-pointer. McDowell at the 18-yard line. And guess who made the stop? Hank Bauer, who is a real legend here on special teams play.
Boy, they love Hank. What a great special teams player. You know, he's got a poster out now. Stripped to the waist and everything. Here he is. Hank really gets off the ball. He's there at R1, which is the first guy down, and he gets a nice move, goes right past Dennis Johnson, breaks down and makes a nice play. Excellent play.
He has his poster. It says Bauer Power.
Yeah.
Now, we had a penalty, however, on the play, so we may kick this all over again. There's a flag back at the 40, which is reminiscent of that one they had earlier being offside.
Kickoff, number 82 on a kicking team is offside.
That's Billy
We will
Brooks.
re-kick.
Well, they've done that twice. But Bauer is really something. He has kind of a little group that follows him around. He has his own poster, the Bauer Power posters. Hey, Detroit coming back in that game, of course, very, very significant, especially for the San Diego team, who's tied with Denver for first.
Yeah, both teams. Minnesota's in the same division with Detroit, and they must be smiling about that one.
Bauer was picked last year as the NFL Special Teams Player of the Year by a magazine. 11 of 12 coaches voted for him.
I wonder who's the guy that didn't vote for him.
He'll find out. So we'll kick it over this time from the 30-yard line after the offside. Konoshka to McDowell. McDowell will have a better return on this one. Out to the 25. So instead of having it at the 18-yard line, the Vikings have it instead at the 25-yard line. In a game that's 14-all with 6:27 to go in this first half. This has really been an interesting football game.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot more to come. I'm glad.
That drive, 73 yards. Of course, the 60-yard touchdown pass. It's Dan Fouts coming up with it. And Fouts, who came in here with 12 touchdowns passing, adds another one. The Giants leading St. Louis. Atlanta getting beat today. St. Louis will play Atlanta next week. Ricky Young, Ted Brown, the running back. Here's the final. Washington has won their first one, 24-7. Joe Gibbs, the former assistant with Don Coryell here, won his first one. Kramer on first down over the middle. Sensor, he almost dropped it, but he hangs on. He's a yard short of the first down, and he is headed to maybe his biggest day in the NFL.
I'll tell you what, they're going to feed Sensor all day long. He keeps getting open. Now just a little over the middle pop pass just to get him out in the open and get the ball up in the midfield area.
Last year he had 42 catches. That's a Viking record. He didn't start a game. He was an alternate with Bob Tucker. They would send the plays in through the tight end. This year they wigwag him in. Second down, a yard. Kramer to Ricky Young, and Young very close. Boy, he's been called out of 2 short yardage plays. He's been hammered.
Ricky Young, I'll tell you, well, Ricky Young came to training camp last year and realized that the Vikings were interested in getting some more running backs. So he kind of fired him up. And so what he did every day of practice was run the hill. There's a hill that Vikings have at practice, and he just took off and on his own would work out and push himself that much harder.
Of course, coming over from San Diego, his 90th straight start. One of the most underrated in the NFL. As Bud Grant says, he does it all. First down for Minnesota. Ricky Young again. Young picks his leg close to 40 and really belted. The ball is loose, but they're going to rule it dead. Oh, it'll still be the Vikings football. Kelcher and Johnson really unloaded on number 34.
Well, it's your... Here it is. Louis and Gary had a stun on there. They switched positions, but they both got by the blocks and came back to get Ricky Young over the middle.
That looks like a good call.
Anytime you run up inside there, you got to expect to get pushed in the mouth by either one of those two guys.
Looked like he was down on that play.
Yeah, I think he was.
Comes now to a second down and 7. Brown, the only running back. White, LeCount, and Rashad in. White in motion. Kramer, pressure put on. And the pass is complete. That would be a first down to Terry LeCount, but there's a penalty flag.
Yeah, I think we got a holding on Minnesota.
Back inside the 30-yard line. That's what it is. Minnesota's offensive line, other than the Monday night against Oakland when they gave up 8 sacks, protected very well. They've only had Kramer sacked 3 times since he came back.
There are a very versatile group of people up front. Everybody there, the 2 guards can play tackle, and the 2 tackles I think can probably fold in and play guard, but they do a very good job of working well together, and they've improved dramatically since Kramer's come back to the team.
Let's listen now to Chuck Heberling.
Holding, offense, number 78, second down.
That would be Steve Riley, one of the 2 veteran tackles for this Minnesota team.
Yeah, Woodcock, as soon as the offense happened, he jumped up off the ground screaming, "Hey, I'm the guy you held." Sure enough, that was him.
You never did that, did you?
No, not at all.
Very quiet.
I always filled out requisitions to give the officials to watch holding.
After the penalty, second down, 17. Jimmy Webb has come in, replacing Louis Kelcher defensively on the line. Ricky Young overthrown. coverage very effective that time by Woody Lowe, the linebacker.
I think the rush now may start to take its effect. Woodcock had a good rush there on Kramer.
Woodcock is probably a better defensive tackle, isn't he, than he is an end, but he's doing well out there.
Yeah, primarily he's a defensive tackle, Gary, but they moved him out to play right end, and being a good athlete, he's met the challenge out there. He's a big, strong guy, and they like him very much. I think he's going to play well for them.
They acquired him for a 12th round draft pick from the Detroit Lions. Third down, 17. Kramer in a little bit of a hole. He's going to try to get out of it and almost threw the interception. Mike Williams, a pass intended for Rashad, but Williams was in perfect position but couldn't hang on.
Boy, Williams, here it is. He drops back. It's pretty good pressure here from the right. You see Central folding in to block. He gets rid of the ball and right into double coverage. He really tried to force that football.
He will do that to Rashad sometimes. He has such confidence in Ahmad Rashad.
Yeah, he sure does.
Look at that. One kick for 56 yards. He'll be kicking now from the 15. Wes Chandler is back deep. Chandler, who was the third player taken his rookie year in the draft, ahead of both James Lofton and John Jefferson. And Chandler at the 24. He avoids McNeil. And he's inside the Minnesota end of the field at the 47. Fred McNeil missed the tackle. And Chandler then picked up some big yardage. Robin Sidline, the rookie from Texas, made the stop.
I think Chandler's won himself a job back there.
Chandler getting up slow. Now he has a problem with the groin also.
He does a good job setting things up. Starts to his left, cuts up the field a little bit, trying to find out where the hole. That makes the cut right there. He made a cut, but then slipped, which helped him get by that tackler. That's all Wes Chandler. He's just a great player. That's why Don likes him. He's explosive.
47-yard kick, but a 30-yard return sets it up at the Minnesota 48. Coming up at halftime, Brett and Irv, and you've been seeing some of the scores. A lot to talk about. And we'll be joining them. Chuck Muncie, the running back, with the football. Inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6. 2nd and 4. Seaman and Studwell on the stop.
You know, it's difficult to establish a running game against a 3-4 team for the very reason that the linebackers, there's 4 of them, and they have a very good access laterally to the football. It's tough to get your offensive linemen get through the defensive line and into the secondary or into the linebackers to block them, and they do a very good job. Seaman and Studwell are excellent inside linebackers.
2nd down 4. Seaman, a 10-year veteran. Studwell, his 5th year. Fouts wide open. Wes Chandler. And Chandler inside the 30.
Here we go.
You know, they say you can never replace a guy like John Jefferson, but he could come pretty close.
He's right out of the same mold as a John Jefferson. They're going to employ him the same way. Fouts doesn't drop very deep, gets the ball. They do a good job of getting their hands up and hits the open man. Chandler goes to the open area. They're in a zone over there. He just goes into the open area to get the football.
Wes Chandler, who has probably better speed than Jefferson. They're not the same type of receivers, but both very excellent. First down now from the 28. Muncie trying to go wide. In trouble. John Turner is there, and Turner will make the tackle. And a loss of about a yard on the play. Turner feeling very well and seeing a lot more action today.
Yeah. They like him. Like I said earlier, he's their best cornerback. He's very consistent. He's really come along. He's really improving.
The White Scales checks in. Sievers will check out. We're approaching the 2-minute warning in this first half. 2nd down, 9. They actually got a half yard, maybe a yard on the play. Scales split out. Chandler split out. Joyner also. And Winslow in a wing position. Fouts over the middle. Charlie Joyner, and Joyner at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, but there's a penalty flag. A flag back at the 17-yard line.
I think it's on the defense. No!
It's on the San Diego Chargers.
I think Kellen Winslow is going to be called for pushing off. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be.
Well, Winslow is arguing his cause, but to no avail. Now retreating to the huddle. So that will bring it back after a wide open pass over the middle to Charlie Joyner. They call Joyner the technician. He runs everything precisely the way you draw it on the blackboard.
He's not so much a guy who's going to be a real deep threat because he'll leave that to a Winslow and to Chandler. But he is so technique
Offensive
oriented.
pass interference. Number 80. Second down.
He is so pass technique oriented that he's very, very disciplined in his routes.
There's Dan Fouts as the 2-minute warning is here. The Chargers, who have led twice, trying to take the lead for the third time in this game.
Hi, I'm
Down in 19, a minute 56 left in the first half.
He may have gotten a couple of plays from the sideline there to fight this 2-minute clock. Let's see what happens.
This is the kind of team where a minute 56 can seem like a long time if you're on defense.
Especially if you're throwing the football.
The line of scrimmage to 37. They need to make it to the 18.5 for a first down. Fouts, only one running back. Muncie going for the far corner. Chandler out of bounds. Oh. Chandler was out of bounds. What a remarkable effort on his part. Walt Williams defending on the play.
Chandler.
Do we have an aerial circus?
Let's see what we have here. We see Doug Martin coming in on a stunt with Duck White. He's double teamed here. Fouts just dumps the ball out here deep. Was a long pass, isn't it?
A long time is coming.
Yeah, I can't believe it. And Chandler, what a great play. I don't care if he was in or out. That's a great play. Here's another angle at it to see where his feet is. His foot is down. I don't know. I think he was out of bounds. That's a good call.
Good pictures by director Bob Dumpy, and now it comes to 3rd and 19. A long field goal if they had to go from here. Over the middle, Chandler. Oh, is he hit? And I don't know if he got the first down. He was just about there when the impact was made by Tom Hannon. Chandler getting up, and he is really shaking on the play.
He took a good pop. It's also important if you're going for your first down to make sure you see where those yard markers are. Ground level of Fouts. Right over into Chandler. They're going to get hot, I think, here pretty soon. Takes a good pop from Tommy Hannon. Well, he's a great athlete, has great range, and he's a good tackler.
Chandler will go off, but the big story is whether they got the first down. They did. They got it by about the half of the length of a football. So instead of being 4th down, it's first down with a minute 36 left in the first half. Chandler showing he's pretty courageous on that play. He took a good hit. He will come off. Chandler has pretty good size. He's 5'11", 186. He has the Saints receiving record for yardage. He caught 1,069 yards in 79. He's had 65 catches the last 2 years.
He could have used a little bit of those flak jackets on those last couple of plays.
Outs with a lot of time, really, the way he operates. A minute 20 from the 17-yard line. 14-all is our score. Joyner in motion in a mix-up. Everybody firing off. Flags going everywhere. Who's it against?
Chuck Muncie's flapping. He thinks it's against the defense. Let's see.
Preliminary signal.
Start. Offense, number 14.
Now Dan Fouts will have 5 yards stepped off against him. Now Bernershka, if you're thinking field goals, hit 5 of 7, and his longest thus far has been 52. The penalties, that's 43 yards now against San Diego. Minnesota's had only 1 penalty for 10 yards. Look at this. Detroit has taken the lead over Denver 21-17. Detroit, of course, could really help San Diego. And looking at that ball game, Alvin Hall with a 55-yard interception return for a touchdown has given the Lions the lead. First down, 15. Fouts wide open. Winslow to the 10. A flag on the play. Winslow out of bounds at the 3. But a penalty flag. Oh, is he tough to bring down? That's 6'6", 242.
Boy, Kellen is a load.
Minnesota indicating it's against San Diego. And that's what it is. 2 very costly penalties.
I think that may be against Kellen for pushing off again. I'm not sure, but I think it might be. They're watching him now. It'll be interesting to see if Fouts goes back to him.
I'm sure some defensive player has brought it to the attention of the official, and they are watching for it.
Sure. As long as you do it politely, they like that. When you ask them to look at my man, would you say, would you please watch my man for punching my face in? If you do it politely, they like you for it.
You got to say please.
Yes.
Boy, this crowd unhappy now. Mike cutting out, but it is against Winslow. Brings it out to the 32, where now it's 1st and 25. A minute 3 left in this first half. What a first half we've had.
That's okay. 1st and 25, they like that.
Gives them a little more room to operate. Fouts over the middle, complete to the 15-yard line. And that'll be Dwight Scales with the catch. And now they're going to stop the clock with 57 seconds.
You know, here's Fouts. He's not shy. He's going right back over the middle again. He's got a lot of time to do it, too. See, he gets this much time in here. Look at Duck White. He gets that much time in there, they're going to move the football. He's not shy. He goes right in under the coverage, right to Dwight Scales. Dwight Scales, there was a couple of words earlier about him in his career about not being able to go over the middle or not wanting to go over the middle. He'll catch the football if it's thrown over there.
Boy, they have a lot of players from the Rams. Scales, I think of in particular. Wyatt Henderson playing for San Diego. A lot of your ex-teammates. Leroy Jones.
Well, there's a lot of great athletes, but only 45 spots on the roster.
Now, San Diego has 2 timeouts left. They have a 2nd down and 8. 3 timeouts left for Minnesota. The ball at the 15-yard line, 57 seconds. I thought you made a very interesting point. When it's 1st and 25, Dan Fouts just has a little more field to work with.
That's the way Corio looks at it. He doesn't care where he is on the field. It doesn't make a difference if he has 10 yards to go or 45 yards to go. The fact is, he's going to make up the yardage by throwing the football. And he just soon do it down here his way back in his own territory.
Boy, when Don is relaxed, he's really a joy to be around. He was yesterday. But at game day, forget it.
You better pick your spots when you approach Don.
He was very, very open yesterday. He spent a lot of time with us. But look at him now. I wouldn't want to get in his way right now.
Now he's in deep concentration right now.
2nd down coming up. They can get a 1st and goal at the 7. Joyner, Dwight Scales split out. Winslow at the tight end spot. 2 timeouts left for the Chargers. Fouts, pressure, broken up, almost intercepted. Tommy Hannon had it. That would have been his 3rd interception of the year. And that lets them off the hook. They're still alive and well.
You know what San Diego did? You can't see it here, unfortunately, on television. But what they did, Dan sends everybody. Look at Chuck Muncie coming through here, the broken hand and all. He's going to be a pass receiver. They sent everybody who was capable of catching a pass out into the end zone. That's the type of offense they've got down here.
Ooh, that's like sandlot football.
Oh, go on. The rest of you guys stay back and block.
That took only 6 seconds. 51 remaining. 3rd down. They need to get the 1st down. The 1st and goal now. On a 3rd and 9. Fouts complete to Joyner. Joyner's not going to get that 1st down. They're going to have to settle for the field goal. That'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings, with the help of 2 penalties, able to stall this drive.
Kurt Knopf came up and made a nice play on that, keeping Joyner out of that end zone. I'll tell you, San Diego is so impressive in their thinking, and the way they think and the way they attack the field is so remarkable. Again, they sent everybody out into the end zone. They sent everybody except for Joyner out there.
This will be a 31-yard attempt. Bernurska 5 of 7. They're letting the clock run, so they won't give the Vikings any time after this field goal attempt. 10 seconds. 31 yards away. Bernurska and the Chargers have not taken the lead. That ball was wide of the mark. Walt Bernurska, which is kind of a chip shot for him, but he didn't get it.
I'm really surprised. That's the easy pickings for Rolf. Well, we all miss him, don't we?
So the drive was stalled. The Vikings come out without giving up any points. And just before the end of the first half, that's got to give them a lift.
Yeah, you know, that snap from center and the holder of this guy, that's Ed Luther, a quarterback. That combination right there is very, very important. I was watching before the game, and that takes an awful lot of technique and art to be able to have that whole thing coordinated.
Well, he's a new holder. They used to have Mike Fuller, and Ed Luther is now the man. It looked like the hold and the snap was good. but the kick was not. And that is going to bring us to the close of a very entertaining first half of play. The score here at Jack Murphy San Diego Stadium, all even, 14 all. As these two division leaders have come out here, they have thrown the football, and they...
BC lightweight champion Alexis Arguello on CBS Sports Saturday last week. All of our pre-fight publicity centered around Boom Boom. And I think we were unfair, because as Pat O'Brien explains, not only does Arguello boast a 72-4 record, but his own story is as moving as Boom Boom's.
This was to be Ray Mancini's day, a 20-year-old newcomer with a shot at the title and the fulfillment of a family dream. For Alexis Arguello, it was a big day as well. His 16th title fight and a chance to satisfy some lifelong dreams of his own.
I have in my mind, still have in my mind when my father told me with the